good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Charlie, the adversity host, and I'm speaking to you now from London in the UK. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that we are all familiar with, which is our uniqueness. If you're not familiar with it, well, it's about time, and I'm here to help you understand what it really means. What I'm going to start off with is by sharing the way I discovered that I was unique, and then hopefully you will relate to what I'm about to say and apply it to your life. When I was 21, I was in the UK by myself. Alone in a foreign country. I had to learn the language and I had to do certain things that I'm very proud of in order to be accepted. And it happened for me. I found myself in the middle of a lot of people that I couldn't relate to, people that were different in all aspects. They look different. They came from I came from from a very different background to them. But I found a way to be unique in my own way. I didn't reject myself. I accepted myself the way I was, and suddenly everybody started accepting me, and that was the key. And then 2 years later, I joined the British Army. And that was a setting that I wasn't really prepared for. And I tried my best to be like everybody else, the exact opposite of what I had done a few years before. And I had a completely different experience. It was very difficult because I was trying so hard to be somebody that I wasn't. And it turned out that I didn't need to. I could have just stayed the same. But peer pressure got the better of me, and I found myself really not being true to who I was. And it's through those experiences that I've decided that whoever you are, wherever you're listening this from, you're just perfect the way you were created. You came here to do something greater than you. And the first step in achieving whatever it is you came here to do is to accept that you're perfect just the way you are. Over to you, Marina.
Wow, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Radio W.O.R.K.S World. I'm so humbled having you here, Charlie, and wondering what happened. So you become aware of your uniqueness, and there is an inside job to be done, so to be delivered. So it's not easy to discover who you truly are, and then after you discover who you truly are and your self-worth, you start to begin to have a sense of what you can bring into the world.
Yes.
You realize that you have to go back to being a number or a reference number, to being somebody you could not be.
Yes.
So what happened?
Well, experiences, life experiences happened. And I realized that I once heard somebody say that we are born unique, yet we die the same. In other words, we try so hard to compare ourselves to others. We want the stuff that look good on others. And it really doesn't work, even if you get those things that you so badly want. And the way I realized, I found that out was that I had a very good job at the Savoy Hotel in London. For those of you who know London, if you don't, just Google it. It's a 5-star, which is probably the best around in the Western world. It's perfect. Everything in that place is fantasy. So I was a butler there, and the job was great, but there was something missing inside of me. I knew that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, although everything about the job was really good. But one day I left, and then I felt a sense of freedom. Of course, I didn't have the opportunities that I could have had. I didn't meet the rich people and the success stories that I heard. But I sense if I felt a sense, an inner peace. And I shared my story in a book, which you heard about last time. And after sharing that story, I read it myself and realized that despite it all, I had achieved good things in my life. And the reason why we spend so much time in worry and want and perpetual despondency, sadness, is because we don't realize just how far we've come in our own lives without comparing it with other people's experiences. Because it doesn't matter what success we see around us, it doesn't matter how many people we know who have achieved great things in their life. What we don't know is how hard it's been for them, how difficult their journey has been, how what happens when the curtains shut. We don't see that. And the truth is, there's a lot of sadness underneath all of the bravado, all of the trophies, the glory. There is a story, there's always a story. And because we don't know those stories, those challenges, those difficulties that lay below the successes, we think that it's easy. When in actual fact, life is not designed to be easy. Yes, we are all here to be happy and fulfilled, but it has a price. Like everything valuable. Everything valuable has a price. And I found it the hard way, which is fine also, because difficulties just teaches you lessons, life lessons. I think the best teacher in the world is life. That's what I believe. And I'm sure Marina will back me up on this. So over to you, Marina.
Wow, Charly. Wow. So, where do I start? You know, every person, every one of our listeners out there, they perhaps relate, most probably relate to your story, because each one of us acquires skills and abilities, and they forget about their uniqueness, because all these skills and abilities, they have their name on it. It's just they try so much to mimic the greatest in their industry, or the people they admire the most, and they forgot that in the during the process they turn their back on who they really are. And happened to you already twice. So you discover yourself, you discover your self-worth, and then you listen to what society or family or friends wanted from you, expected of you, and you join an organization which was really not for you. And you had a terrible time just because it was a constant battle with who you knew you were.
Yes.
And then you tried again, you came back and you tried to rebuild your life. And all these traumatic experiences made you stronger in actual fact. And you want our listeners to be encouraged to embrace their uniqueness, because it's like a beautiful secret gift nobody knows about. I'm thinking of you of the best kept secret, and I'm so grateful that you are here to share your story, because it is almost like looking inside and seeing so much richness that you can't possibly find that outside, and you bring it out to contribute to the beauty of this world. It's I know that there are big words for some people, and some people nod their head, but actually your experience, your story are to prove that your true worth, recognizing and not resisting your true greatness, is the only way out of a dark place.
Yes.
And there are labels, like you said, and people put on you, or other people create their own label, and you are saying, forget all of that. Become your own label. You can't be somebody else. Doesn't matter how hard you try. You are be so unhappy inside that you won't know how, what is the fastest way to get out of that situation. So it is a risk that each one of us have to take to look inside, because you turn your back on all your social conditioning, everything you've been taught. You have to forget everything, because in effect you are turning your back on all other expectations from the society, family, friends put on you, all that pressure, and you go through a process, through a very lonely process, where you have to identify your own strength. What is that makes you different? What is that only you have? What is that could bring you to a point to understand and believe in yourself? Because like everything, Charly, if you think about, before you wrote your book, which is, in my opinion, when you write a non-fiction book, is your birth certificate. So you are born again. You started fresh, and you said, hell with this. I have to make it happen, not for me, but for other people who could make the same mistakes and could be allured in the same situation and buying somebody else's dream while turning their back on their own dream. So you published a book, and now you are out there sharing with everyone, encouraging everyone to embrace their uniqueness, not to be ashamed of who they are, because it doesn't matter where they are coming from, is not relevant. What is relevant is where they are going. What is relevant is their vision, is what they see themselves, how they see themselves. And wow, I see myself. That moment when you sell yourself to yourself, not forget the others. This is not about the others. Nothing to do with the others. That's why, like Adrian Marks, our Me Time host on Radio W.O.R.K.S, is saying all the time, it is an inside job. Nobody can help you. You have to decide. You have to make a decision. Be yourself, or let others make you part of their self, and you'll never come out. You'll never be able to have your own brand, your own label. You'll never be able to leave a legacy. Over to you, Charly.
Well, what I found, I read a quote, and it struck a chord with me. It goes like this: the understanding of self-worth is the beginning of progress. I repeat, the understanding of self-worth is the beginning of progress. In other words, you're not going to achieve anything substantial unless you know who you are as a person. Knowing what you are means you understand yourself, you know what makes you happy, you know what doesn't, but you focus on what does. You also understand that you are here to play a very specific role. If you're not, for example, if you're not happy with in your relationship or in your job or in any other aspect of your life, it's not because there's something wrong with it. It's simply because it's not for you. For example, if you're going out with somebody and they're not treating you well, or you're not just happy with them, doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they're not for you. They're really good. They're perfect as they are, as you are, and as you are as well. Everybody's perfect in their own ways. The key is to find the right connection, the right job, the right person for you that will suit you, that will be on the same wavelength as yourself. I was having a conversation with somebody on the streets the other day who told me that they didn't like their job. And my answer to them was, my question to them was, what makes their job not good for them? They gave me all sorts of reasons why the job was really not the best job in the world. I told them that there wasn't anything wrong with that job. Simply, there's something not right about having that job for them. In other words, there's no bad jobs. It's just a job is as good as the way you feel when you do it. Oh wow, I don't even know where that came from. That's good.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I like that. So I'll see if I can repeat it. A job is only as good as the way you feel when you do it. So you can be emptying toilets and feeling good about it. That's the best job in the world for you. You could be working close to the richest people or serving the president of countries and feel terrible about it. Then that's the worst job for you. So it's not about the job. The jobs are perfect. It's about the way you feel when you do the job. And I'm sure Marina will back me up on this. So over to you, Marina.
Wow, Charly, it's so true, because your individuality is the fabric of your life. But
Yes.
here's the thing, life experiences will mold you into a fascinating being.
Yes.
And because it's what you feel, it's not who you are, it's not what you have or own, it's who the experience turns you into, what you feel during delivering that
That is,
job, or being with somebody, or
yeah.
struggling. It's nothing to do with the destination, because you are taking the job to get paid to put food on the table, right? So it's
Yes.
nothing to do. This is what I learned from my branding coach, James Michael Lafferty, and I urge you, every single one of our listeners should go to his website and get in touch with him, James Michael Lafferty. And the website is jamesmichaellafferty.com. Why I'm saying this? Because I had the same struggles you had.
Yeah.
And each one of us is facing those experiences, but we expose ourselves to experiences which are not growing us.
No.
We have this tendency, I mean, at least I had this tendency to deliver everything expected of me, and that was killing me, was shrinking my own spirituality, because it wasn't something I couldn't do. It was very easy for me, but
Yeah.
I could not be.
Yes.
So why I'm saying this is because you can do so much, and you could do a lot. It's a lot you can carry. My grandmother used to say, you can't give someone how much they can carry, and it's true.
Yes.
So for 20 years, more than 20 years, I had no holidays, no weekends. For
Wow.
me, life was only work. I had people waiting outside my house on my birthday. I did not know it was my birthday. Every
Wow.
single day was equal with the other. It was no Monday, no Sunday. Every single day, it was another day of work. And I was very good at what I was doing. So it wasn't that. I loved it. I was obsessed about delivering results for others, but I
Yeah.
never thought of myself. And when I retired, I realized that nobody needs me anymore. So I
Yeah.
felt used, but not used because they wanted to use me. I allowed that to happen.
Yes.
And I shrink myself into having nothing else but my work.
Yeah.
So you see, what I learned from my branding coach, James Michael Lafferty, which is able to help anyone. If he could help me, he can help anyone. Is that
Yeah.
the destination is not relevant.
No.
Doesn't matter. What is important is the journey. The
Yes.
journey you take not knowing where you are going, but
Yes.
the journey you take with yourself. So
Yes.
you have to build first your brand, your label, yourself. This is the one you see inside your mind, because
Yeah.
that vision is who you are designed to be. That
Okay.
vision you have in your mind and nobody else can see is
Yeah.
the only person that will allow you to achieve the wildest dreams, the craziest dreams,
Yes.
because that person is the person who can deliver the job. So you see how you look at yourself, oh, I can't write a book. I never learned English personally, so how I can write books was ridiculous. When
Mm.
my children gave me a gift on Mother's Day with a book program, and I done it. It was an online program,
Yeah.
and I felt at first I felt like this is getting ridiculous now. I got 2 degrees. Why do I need to go back to education? So
Yeah.
so it's all part of the discovery journey. When you allow
Yeah.
yourself to jump into unknown. So forget the certainty, forget the destination, the monthly income, forget all of that.
Yeah.
Forget chasing opportunities. I think is nothing to do with you, because that
No.
kills your uniqueness. You
Yes.
become the opportunity for other people only when you unveil your true greatness. Only when you bring out into the world that divine essence, because each one of us have it. It's just a choice. Some people choose to use it, some people choose to ignore it. So
Yes.
that divine essence, each one of us carry that inside all their life. And some
Sure.
people, they decide to take it to the grave because
Yeah.
somebody said, and I totally agree, that the grave is the richest place on earth because people take all their dreams with them.
Sure.
And that's very sad. But you see, it's very hard for the person you're talking to about their job and they hated the job. It's very hard for them to this is the thing, Charlie. So it's very hard to identify who you are, to think of your uniqueness when you have all these crashing demands made on you. So you have to go to work and wake up in the morning, do a job you hate because you have no time to think. So that's the reaction, is to hate it. So you can't leave the job because you have to put food on the table and whatever. So you go back home, perhaps you commute for an hour, you go back home and you don't even make it to bed. You fell asleep on the sofa. So this is how people don't understand their options. So somebody, a lady which I admire greatly, and she just went on a journey, and she's in Australia now. At some point, she said, "Can you say, forget all this? I have to discover who I am." You see, so this is the crucial point where we've been through all of this, and it's been very, very painful. For me, it's been an absolute privilege to have so much, to be challenged, to discover who I am. But if I weren't to be challenged, I would never do it. So you see, it's all about your environment, being with people who can see the beauty in you growing, not people who can't see that for themselves, therefore they can't see it for you either, and they think this is the normal. This is normal. What is normal? Reality is wrong. I can tell you straight, and this is a simple fact. Reality is wrong. So who is going to change it? You. You are the only one who can change your reality. And what is the key element? Your self-worth. You have to discover your self-worth, your talent, what it is that you are good at. So for example, you have so many talents, Charlie. It's hard. So this is another challenge. There are so many. It's like a rainbow of talents you have, but you are thinking, maybe I'm not good enough for this, maybe not that, maybe not. But eventually the life made you realize your true calling.
Yes.
And that happens only on, like, your the story of the statue, the gold statue in Buddha statue in Thailand. So in Bangkok. So what happened? They were trying to move is a big statue and was covered in clay. So they tried to move it from one location to another, and the ropes couldn't hold the statue because of its weight. So it dropped on the floor, on the ground. So when it dropped, the cracks start showing the inside of the statue. It was a clay statue, and everybody's for hundreds of years, right? So then something starts shining inside, and those cracks show the gold version of the statue, which was hidden inside. So they covered the gold statue with the clay.
Wow. Okay.
So when they dropped it, the light of the day starts shining on the gold inside. So to me, it's all about, don't worry about life challenges, embrace them.
Yes.
Because they are your opportunity to discover the gold version of yourself.
True.
Over to you, Charlie.
But one thing I found, and I read a lot, and I'm into personal development. One quote I read one day was that every time you think you're being rejected, you're being redirected.
Very good. This is a very good one.
You're never being rejected. You are only being redirected.
You see, Charlie, this journey. So eventually, you go school as a child. You finish school. You get a job. You get married. You have the kids. You have the family. Whatever society is expecting of you.
Yes.
And you do all of that in good faith, knowing that you can't disappoint the people who raised you. You can't turn your back on the people who love you, and you can't be yourself.
Yes.
And that's so wrong at so many levels. So you enter a race without knowing what the race means, without knowing what to expect, without knowing how to deliver whatever you need to deliver during this race.
Yes.
However, on the other side of the coin is your journey. It's a journey that you take. You don't know where it takes you, but it's a journey into serendipity, because you'll be free to think, and you'll be free to make choices, and actually you'll be free to discover that you have choices.
Yes.
Because as an entity in this society, you think, I have to do this. You don't see anything else, and what you focus is what you get. You focus on the race, you'll get the race.
Yes.
But my point is that, in the first 20 years of your life, you are so by the time you are 6, you are this amazing prodigy. Everybody thinks you are so unique and great, and all that is normal.
Yes.
Look at this child, how smart it is, how beautiful it is, how this, how that. Everybody's so excited about you. And then you go through school where you are taught to become average.
Yes.
And after that, you realize that actually you are average, because what you think is who you are. And everything happens twice, first in your mind and then in reality. But if you were to go back to the period of time where you're the prodigy in a family, you are the best kid in the village, in a town. So just go back, just don't lose that child. And here you are, starting your life knowing that everything is possible. What a difference that would make. How can you, when you realize that you can imagine things, and things are happening in your mind first, so you are allowed to imagine things. It's not against the law to imagine something beautiful.
No.
But there is no support for that, because apparently there is no time. You have to deliver whatever you deliver during the race. You have to take that job and hate it and live with that. How can you live with that? That is not, it is a contradiction in terms. It's like driving a car and you are signaling left, but then you turn right because somebody else is telling you turn right, even you are signaling to go left. So it's a crash. Of course it's a crash. But that crash is a blessing in disguise, because that crash is going to show the gold version of yourself.
Yes. And sometimes we're beaten up by life so hard that we can't help but make decisions. And
okay, about decisions. What do you think about decisions? What happens when you don't make the decision?
Well, you make a decision anyway, whether you make a decision or not, but because not choosing is a choice.
That's exactly my point. So for the listeners who are perhaps taking notes from what you are saying, is all about transforming diverting that polarity. So instead of being the cause of other people's decision they made for you, you take control. You make the decision. You become the cause of your life. You are not the effect of other people's choices for you. Don't let anyone choose for you. So if you are going to make the wrong choices, so what? Do you want me to tell you how many bad choices, terrible choices I made in my life? Oh, you need 3 years to listen to all of it. But you see, this is the beauty of adversity. The beauty of adversity is that brings the best in you.
Yes.
Over to you, Charly.
Well, what I will add to what you just said, which is great, is I'm learning a lot, by the way, is that your only job, you listening to this, your only job in life is to be happy. That's it. Is to experience joy. That's it. So how you make money is more important than how much money you make. That is a powerful statement. How you make money is more important than how much money you make.
Yeah, so you are saying that the destination is not relevant. because people think I have to make so much money, and they limit themselves. They limit their mind to be creative, and
Yeah.
they go into a place where they feel under the pressure, and they shrink under the pressure. But you are saying, just imagine what you could do, who you could be when you
If
choose
your
what to
only
love.
job, if your only
Yes.
job intentionally was to be happy every day, regardless of what you do, if you
Yes.
make a decision that today I'm going to be happy, that's it. Just make sure you're happy. Whatever happens, you are happy. That's it. Because that's the bottom line. Even the person who wants more money thinks that having more money is going to make them happy. The problem is that that happiness is now linked to something specific, which means the true happiness is not there, because happiness in itself is free. You don't have to link it to anything. It's just there. So when you start linking it to anything, you will always be disappointed, including when you get the thing you linked your happiness to.
So Charly, you are saying that out of all the challenges you've been through in your life,
Yes.
the most exciting and terrible challenge was to delve into your own resources, look
Yes.
inside, look into your deeper self, into your
Yes.
heart, and cultivate this understanding of yourself, accept yourself, tolerate yourself, be compassionate towards yourself, show empathy towards yourself as if you're your best friend, which you
Yes.
never done before.
Yes.
Before you're thinking, I have to please this friend or this family member or this boss, and you never accepted yourself. You never had time to understand yourself, and therefore they could not reach you. You weren't
Yes.
there. You're absent.
Yeah.
Because you see, uniqueness by nature could only show if it's present. So
Yes.
you can't talk about uniqueness in its absence.
No.
So I said, I really believe that the world is this big puzzle. And people are saying, oh, the world is far from perfect. Is this horrible? This is happening. That is happening. But actually, if you think about all these voids we are seeing and we are looking at, each one of us. So as long as you are the missing piece, don't expect your life to be a masterpiece. So you have to take yourself out from that absence and become present and
Yeah.
turn your uniqueness into gold, into your gold version of yourself.
Yeah.
I,
And
I, I, so- I so love your story because you'll have regardless what is coming your way, you will turn it into gold because now
yeah.
you know and you master it. So
Yes.
your uniqueness is priceless. You can't put a price on your uniqueness. Nobody
No.
can.
No.
But once you discover your uniqueness, your true self, your true worth, and you master it,
Yeah.
then everything changes. And then
Everything is.
you'll feel, yes, then you'll feel you have the the strength, the inner strength to turn anything coming your way to what you want, because you already got that experience. You already got, you could, you own it. You own your own
Good.
life.
Okay. Good. Yeah. And that's when you say you're actually saying all of us. That
Yes,
includes
each
you,
one of
yeah,
us, because
each one of us.
I can't refer to our listeners as in general terms, because there is no thing like
No. No.
general. Everybody, absolutely each one of us is unique. So when I'm saying you is because I'm talking to you,
Sure.
to the
Yeah.
person listening and
Listen.
the person having a conversation with, and
Yes.
it's so unique. Your energy is so unique. Your vibration is so unique. Your passion is so unique. Everything about you, it's unheard of.
Yes. That's true. Thank you. That's you said it best. I couldn't have put it better myself. So that was very. I learned a lot today. And yes, I'm pleased we had this interview again. And thank you for your time. But yeah, I enjoy it every time.
Thank you so much, Charly. And from both of us, till next time, is goodbye. But remember, show off yourself.
Yeah.
Be unique, because there's nobody like you. Stop being the best kept secret. Until next time, from both of us, is goodbye.